Welcome back. I'm Shad. We got ourselves another video. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I'm gonna put these headphones on because I'm getting used to them just being on my head. I don't know who that was driving. Those someone who just drove by. He went in my mic, put a Snicker bar in their gas tank. But yeah, we got a video by Lucky Mary. Yeah, she did a live. Guess who her guest was? Jazz. Now I'm telling y'all, I'm not just making videos about Jazz just to do it. Tell you the truth, I'm the victim. I'm the victim. I'm the victim in this situation, not her. So don't nobody out there feel sorry. But in this video, Lucky and Jazz gonna have a brief conversation about like pretty much women being victims and stuff, like, cause she's saying that on how women are dressing in a certain type of way that's like, it's lust. They're trying to be lustful. They're trying to get men to lust after them. And Jazz, the queen, the biggest, the baddest, the best goalpost mover than I have ever seen in my life, she's gonna do it. What she's gonna do is she's gonna just keep on trying to say, no. Women should be able to do whatever women want to do, and a guy should be able to control himself, and even the guys who have mental problems should be able to control themselves. You know, the ones that sneak up on you at night, they should control themselves. Do you know how idiotic that argument is? I don't think people know when they say that. Like, you keep trying to tell people that we have to lock away for the rest of their life to control themselves. Why can't they control themselves? Because it's a mental condition that they have. Mentally, they're not there. You can't tell somebody who's not there to do anything. But you who are lacking in the muscle department, they can make you do something. I didn't say what y'all thought I said, okay? I'm just saying that right there is true. But everybody gotta remember, Jazz is the last dragon in the female form. When you have an argument with Jazz, that glow happens. She catch bullets with her teeth. You can't stop her. But hold up, just hit this video. I need you to hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. In the comment section, give me a thumbs up or a heart. Just let me know that it's real. But let's waste some more time. Let's roll the clip.
Oh, you ain't know what that was. Oh, that doo-doo, baby.
What would you say that are unhealthy or healthy relationship standards that you would say generally men have a problem meeting?
Say the question one more time.
I said, what would you say are like some healthy relationship standards or, you know, traits that men have a problem with meeting?
I think some men have a problem with honesty, being fully honest about what they want, where they are in their life, being honest with themselves and to the people around them. I think a lot of men have a trouble with being vulnerable. And unfortunately, patriarchal society has conditioned men to believe that being vulnerable, being honest about your feelings, being that way is a feminine trait, when really it's a human trait. Human beings go through those things, and it's okay to face them. It doesn't take away from your masculinity. And this is just my opinion, I believe when you can face your vulnerabilities like that and communicate them clearly, that is like peak masculine man, right? Because you're so secure with yourself that you're willing to be honest about yourself and honest to who you're with. I think another one is a lack of discipline when it comes to sex and this overindulgence of lust, right? And I'll give an example. I just saw a video of this woman on a very first date. She was asked to go on, and I guess they were about to leave, and he got upset at her. This is their first encounter. He got upset with her because she didn't reveal that she was on her period on that first date. Why? Because he assumed after this first date that he was going to hit some ass, and literally told her, why wouldn't you tell me you're on your period? I mean, I just did all of this, all of that. That right there is drying the up, my niggas.
Don't nobody care about that. Jazz, first off, I'll let you right now. Him doing that is because, I don't know if it's because of this thing. Let's just get that out right now. I don't actually know. Me trying to make it make sense. Understand this. In today's climate, I want the JJ. I don't need to be in a relationship with you. I just want some. You took that from me knowing I could not get this thing because you was on you was on your lady time. So what you did was technically use me for my resources. And then even if a lady try to pretend like I thought you supposed to be getting to know me. Nah, nigga, you got attention. You got attention, which is validation, and you got me to get you stuff. Let's not play these games. That's what just happened. You're saying would make sense if women weren't feminists, Jazz, or if she was a virgin. But guess what? Now you need to find out lady was a virgin. How I look at it is you used me for my stuff. So yeah, I'm upset. I want my money back.
All that scary. Why you ain't gonna have sex with me after this date? Why you ain't tell me? I don't know what that is, but it ain't masculine. Y'all can let me know.
That's not what happened.
Stuff like that just goes to show that you're so hyped up on sex that you can't even be a normal human being on a first date with a woman.
Women are so hyped up on a man's resources that you can't be a normal human being on a date. Jazz, would you go out with a guy if you knew he had no job and was homeless? Homeless and had no job. Would you go out on a date with? You know what's crazy? A lot of them would say yes, but it's not true.
You're asking this girl about her period because you're that thirsty to get into the bed with this girl you just met. And I think that creeps women out. And that wasn't just one.
Okay, so
yeah, go ahead.
Jazz, we might fight.
Okay.
Squabble up.
What's making them so lustful?
What is making them so lustful?
Because it's psychological, usually. When you look at the behavior in the society, you have to look at everything, right? Why are women more naked if they have a problem with men being so lustful? Because just a minute ago, you was saying like, oh, the clothes. We're not saying you're naked, but just the fact that even men saying something about what they wear, there's pushback if you tell them they should cover up. But then you also have a problem with us being lustful. So why are you so eager to be lusted after sexually? Who do you want lusting after you, gay men or women? Because when you're more naked and you're attractive, the nature in me can really harm you because a lot of different reasons that we can't understand, but we have to live in reality with it. So we could say, they shouldn't feel this way when we have this on, but we are also saying they're very, very lustful. It's so this. Well, why are we? Maybe if we change it and we don't want to be lusted after, we know they're this. I just wonder if that would kind of change. Maybe if we would be taken more serious. That's all.
Well, I think that since the beginning of time, there's always been pimps and there's always been prostitution. There's always been an exploitation of sex as it pertains to women. You know what I mean? They have literally designed it where women can.
What the hell are you talking about right now? She just said you have a problem with guys wanting to sleep with you, aka lusting after you, but you dress in the way you navigate through society. You do it as if you want to be lusted after. What did that mean, what you just said? What was your actual point? Maybe somebody in the comment section will say something.
You can pay a woman to have sex. If these are not the women that you value, then don't pay attention to them.
So you'll be having like career women who are not necessarily, but they want to look like. That's a fact. Like, because then you have the conversation where, and I know them. It's like, and I'm also in Vegas, but it's like, it's also a part where these women will argue, and I've seen it, the fact that, oh, well, it don't matter what I wear. You shouldn't just assume I'm this because of what I have on. So we also can't assume.
They're not right. If a guy walked around with a Trump wig on and like a vest with his nipples out, let's take the wig off. If a guy was walking around with a leather vest on with his nipples out and he was wearing the pants with his behind out, you would assume that he's a homosexual. All you just said, Jazz, is that flags, like actual red flags in your head, aka stereotypes, those are all bad, even though women use them to keep themselves safe. Based on what you just said, if a man raises his voice, why are you getting uncomfortable? Why do you deem him as now a aggressor? A lady showing her body off, her lady parts. What else do you want me to take from this thing? That don't mean she wants the nasty stuff. That means she is actually offering it to the world. She's actually partaking in a streetwalker behavior right now. I'm not saying that she wants it though. She's definitely wearing the sign.
But we gonna say, you know, pimps and so it's like we're gonna assume the men, you know, your ass out though.
But the
And then
thing
whether
is,
I'm a career man, a judge, I like that women like.
what
You
so what I mean,
understand?
yeah, I see what you're saying. I'm saying, like, of course, if you have your body parts out, people are going to look. When I tell a woman,
Yeah.
well, I'm not telling a woman anything. People are grown; they can do what they want to do. But no, when you wear certain things, you are going to get a lot of attention based on that. That does not mean that you deserve to be touched. That does not mean that because your ass is out, that a stranger has the right to assume that you're selling it.
Did she say this? Did she ever say that in this arc? Wait a minute. I gotta go back now.
Career women who are not necessarily, but they want to look like. That's a fact. Like, because then you have the conversation where, and I know them. It's like, and you know, I'm also in Vegas, but it's like, it's also a part where these women will argue, and I've seen it, the fact that, oh, well, it don't matter what I wear. You shouldn't just assume I'm this because of what I have on. So
You're
we
right.
also can't assume that.
Did she never even mention that? Okay, that's wild. She was still on the lusting stage. Why did you take this from lusting to actual SA? See how bad she argues? Jazz, why are you so bad at this? She's like a professional goalpost mover. When did actually having physical contact even occur in this conversation? You know why she brought up pimps in, well, she didn't bring it up, you brought it up. You know why pimps in streetwalkers work in this thing? Because those streetwalkers had a attire, and guess what they were doing? They was exploiting their bodies to get stuff. It still goes off of the lusting. How did you make this SA? I need to know your logic, my sister.
Does not mean that because your ass is out, that a stranger has the right to assume that you're selling it.
Correct.
That does not mean that a man has to go and degrade you and put you into an alley and say, well, she had on them little shorts. No, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Where's she getting this from? Oh God, this is crazy.
The clothing doesn't matter. It's the lack of self-control of the person that's doing the harming. Now, when it comes to the
Harming.
lustful part of it, there are groups of women who desire that type of lustful attention. I get it. They're on the internet, they're doing the thing. And like you said, there are some career women. I don't know if you mean like, I guess like how they appear on social media, like how they dress, like
Yeah,
how like their presence on
yeah, of
social
course,
media.
if you're a lawyer or whatever, but even the ones that are losing their jobs because of certain Instagram posts, and they don't all have because they could be career women, but when they go to the club to come see whatever celebrity, you can't tell them from the hoe.
Yeah,
But
I
you
don't.
want me to not be, but so
But the
you're
thing,
trying to attract the men that like hoes,
but the thing
you
is,
know?
I feel like men think women are hoes regardless of what they're wearing.
That because you want men to be considered, you want to paint men in a predator brush. That's why you said that. Oh yeah, men treat nuns as if they are streetwalkers, right? Men treat mothers, the ones who be in the house wearing just a normal dress, and she got 3 kids. Oh yeah, she definitely be selling that cooter cat. You right now, what's that called? Misandry? I don't know what this is she's doing. That's wild. This is the same lady who be telling people to stop painting women with a brush, but then her brush is that I believe men believe women are, dingus munchers. I think they think you're a dingus muncher no matter what you wear. Tell you this right now, if you're a feminist, definitely think you're a dingus muncher.
Men assume that if you've had more than one partner, you're getting
Okay,
you're
I can't even. But see,
That's not true what
now we're
she's
going over
saying.
to this subject. Well,
Yeah,
if they say,
goalpost moving.
but I gotta also because this is why I think my experience of being with women has opened my eyes to certain perspectives
Mhm.
because even those women aren't always gay, right? There's a little bit of even in a lifestyle of women stating that, oh, encouraging young girls to have whole phases. So it's like, I can't just sit up here and act like the reason why men's nature is even more this or undisciplined is not because of the constant temptation and even how women raise young attractive boys. Oh, he gonna have some girls. He gonna have this, the encouragement to be non-sexually disciplined, whether it come from their daddy who's encouraged them to lose their virginity young, or their mother who's hyping certain stuff up, or just the fact that they're gonna get into society and want to get sex in the first place. But I'm just saying, like, I think that for a problem to happen, it's okay to say that both conversations can exist, where women can't say that generally they have a problem with the nature of men being overly sexual, but then men can't say they have a problem with us wanting to be overly sexualized, because then we say, well, that shouldn't mean that we should get great, which we agree. But do we kind of talk about the shouldn'ts or the reality of the fact that that's not going away? You're always
No,
going to have
and that's where.
men,
Go ahead.
you're always going to have some men who can't control themselves. So what we can control is to probably narrow down the implication when we go to certain places to look like a woman who want her ass grabbed. That's all I'm saying. But if you do go outside, I hope you can protect yourself, you know what I'm saying, from that type of energy is all I'm just
I get it, but I respectfully, I disagree. It
Of
doesn't
course.
matter what a woman is wearing, because there have been women fully clothed that got great on her way to her car from work.
I agree.
That's not an argument. How does that prove that if you change this, it's called limiting risks? Limiting risks. Based off your logic, don't get car insurance. Why get car insurance? Guess what? You can get in an accident and somehow something can happen where they say, we're not paying for your car. It's happened. There's been a person who had car insurance and then they wasn't able to actually get a car after a wreck. Whatever the reason was, I don't know. It's just they weren't able to get it. Why get car insurance? It's wild. You shouldn't even stay in a house. Why would you live in a house where the roof can actually fall in on you? It's happened to somebody. Why do it? You're setting yourself up. That's your logic you keep using.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying that I'm not saying great determines
Well,
on what you're wearing. We're talking
but
about the lust though.
but
So
but,
the enticeness of, it's just like you
but
can
men
get
are
mauled
enticed.
by some. Go ahead.
But men can be enticed by none.
Oh my gosh, she keep using like retarded extremes. Her extremes are actually dodo birdish. The last melon. That's what she sound like when she uses her extremes. They can be enticed by a nun. Tell me the guy that you know that can. I want to see this, because it sounds like you're gonna name one guy who is already locked up in prison because he was a serial rapist. This is crack.
Okay? Men can be enticed by a little girl. Men can be enticed.
Correct.
But
And
let me-
because we know that, we should also not over sexualize our little girls.
No, absolutely. But who sexualizes
Okay.
little girls first?
Their
Men.
mothers.
I don't know about that one.
Look at Miss Shirley. She had men, knowing men are this way,
Mhm.
was having her little outfits on, doing all this, popping her booty. They paid money to drive hours to see this little girl. Had random men picking her daughter up. There is sex rings online and on Instagram where women are selling
you're talking
their
about the
kids.
little girl.
How do you think R. Kelly got a hold of all them young girls?
Listen,
How do we think these people in the industry, women, do you know Chris Brown's security had to turn mothers away who kids were in high school because they wanted to throw their kids at Chris Brown? Women are definitely sexualizing and selling their kids. Aaliyah parents sold her for $1,000.
No, I understand that
Allegedly for all these things. Allegedly. It might not even be allegedly, but just in case. Allegedly.
there are women and men that sexualize children for their own personal gain, for their benefit. I get that. Like exploiting a child, having them walk around on stages with other grown adults, I ain't with that. So I agree with you there. But my thing is, we should never accept a society that says there are going to be men out here that are going to grape you sometimes. There are going to be men out here, regardless of what you're wearing, regardless of where you are. They're going to just be men that act on their lustful ways, and we just have to deal with that. And I think that is a serious problem.
No, first off, there's gonna be there's monsters in the world. Evil exists in the world. The best thing for you to do is try to limit the risk of you being placed in front of evil. If you can't live in that society I just said, which is actual real life, I don't even know how you got this far. How did you actually get this far in life if you can't actually understand that there's evil and you have to find a way to navigate through it? Fentanyl is a drug.
We should not be accepting men looking at some women as objects to abuse and use and take away somebody's autonomy. We shouldn't be policing so much all of these clothes when every situation has been where it doesn't matter what the clothes are, a predator and an abuser is going to do what a predator and an abuser does. I'm not talking about the women that are serving their kids up to the predator, like the kids did with, or like the parents did with Aaliyah, or the other kids did with R. Kelly, or whatever the case may be. I'm talking about regular women, because I didn't grow up in a space where the women in the family was like showing the girls off to the men. But I had weirdos in the family that was looking at little young cousins and young nieces saying weird remarks like that. We all know somebody that's looking at a little girl like, man, when you get 18, when you did, come on now, we all
see, you are so I'm trying real hard not to attack you, even though you got that stiff on the top of your head, which really pissing me off. So you're finna be so disingenuous and point out that there's guys who do this, but there's not women that have their daughters twerking. There's not women who actually say the exact same thing. Like when she gets older, that doesn't exist. You're telling me you only seen weird guys in this situation, even though that right there is a negative stigma to it. So actually, it's more likely for men to hide it because people judge them if they say this, which they should, because it's creepy. They should be judged. But when women say it's not creepy, it's not a negative stigma to a lady saying that she is gonna grow up, she gonna have an ass, or her daughter is twerking on camera.
We've always said that. And you have to understand that that was started by men because it was normal and legal.
You do know most men
was normal and legal for men to have child brides. It was
but most men were by grown women. Most men's sexual experience was from a woman. So what I mean is, I'm not saying
she keeps saying she get it. She's dismissing it. She's dismissing that information because she doesn't care. She doesn't care at all.
If I say that this is reality, that does not mean Lucky accepts the fact that there are predators. But to a certain extent, because there have always been predators.
So what can we do?
Nigga, you can't do, Jesus Christ. Oh. What can we do about people be predators and hiding that they're predators? Nothing, nigga. What you talking about? You can't do anything about women being gold diggers. There's women out here who want a guy for his resources, which is a form of being a predator. You can't do nothing about it. All you can do is observe and try to navigate around it. The amount of people who act like you can just make monsters or make evil disappear. That's a problematic person. They're actually disturbing to me to hear that.
Unless we have to find them, then you have to go, and that's why we have Me Too movements. We have all these movements on how to catch a predator. That means that they're not going anywhere. There's different type of predators. But what I'm saying is, I wonder what this fight is to not just say, yes, we should have more of a responsibility as women too, to maybe not over sexualize ourselves, because some predators do, no matter what you wear. But yes, there are other predators, like the stories we watch on IDTV, where you could be coming home from the club and you get in an Uber and he decides to take advantage because you got a little skirt on. It's a lot harder for you if you got jeans. You know what I'm saying? So
oh my God.
I'm not saying that acknowledging one means, oh, it's okay. That's not what I'm saying. So I'm trying to be careful with the narrative here with my perspective. It's not saying I'm okay with that. It's saying the reality of it is I have a better chance of protecting myself or looking less like something that you can portray,
Don't.
or just being responsible for how I'm carrying myself. If I don't want to give off, if I don't want to give off, I want to be tonight. Maybe I should make maybe my skirt to be a little longer. What is it up with me where I want my ass out as a married woman? Or what is it with me as a woman who say I believe in God and I want respect? Why am I trying to dress like the women who don't want respect? I don't never want to be mistaken with a street walker if I'm not a street walker. That's just on us. F the man. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm coming from. I'm not saying that. And in that, there also comes other responsibilities where, yes, to your point, you can't determine. I'm not saying if you wear this is the outfit to run a predator off. I'm just saying that in itself is also important. And we can't say men are so lustful when we're so horror-like in the way we present ourselves. Even sometimes I like certain shirts and I feel like I can get away with it because I'm not as big. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no double D's. But even still, it's like, okay, do I kind of want to wear this as a mom? Like I'm a mom, so that's what I go through as a
Sure.
person,
Appropriate. What's appropriate.
Yeah,
And I feel
exactly.
you on all that, but here's what I'm hearing, Lucky. You're saying like, yeah, men are doing this. This is bad that men are doing it. And then all the weight on changing it bears on the woman.
When did she say that? It's called accountability. It's on both sides. If all the weight bears on a woman, then you have to look Lucky in the face and ask Lucky, do you think men who commit this thing that you're talking about, do you think men who do that should go to jail? If her answer is yes, then it doesn't. All the weight's not bared on the woman, Jazz. You know what it is? It's called you taking accountability for placing yourself in this situation as well. But Jazz is crazy. She don't want to. She wants to be able to do whatever she wants. That's what it is. Society is retarded.
On the person that is being more times than not the victim of a man's abuse. So regardless, like we just determined and agreed that it doesn't matter what a woman is wearing for a predator or an abuser to attack them, right? So if that's the case.
Wait, hold on. Y'all didn't fully agree on that. She said there are predators that it don't matter what you're wearing. But she said there is predators that it does. Impulse. They have no impulse control. Which you did trigger their impulse, which they lack impulse control. So then this thing happened. That exists. And tell you the truth, we don't know which one is more likely. We don't know if the one who did it, the one who would do it no matter what, we don't know if it's more hims than the other one. And that's the conversation. That's where we should have this conversation at. Not just conflating and putting them both and calling them both the same thing. It's like saying Cardi B doing what she did when she was younger to guys is the same thing as a lady who literally take $50 extra out your wallet as she's leaving out. That's like saying those two are the same things.
Why aren't we shifting the narrative to empower young boys and to empower young men or men that want to change and check their internalized misogyny and say, hey, we need to build better men to understand mentally that just because a woman is wearing a certain thing or she's in a situation with you.
That's most men, though.
Most men are not. I don't know if most men. What I hear most
of you went throughout your day without no man touching your ass. You probably went your whole year without being harassed, raped, or something.
No,
some women go their whole lives without experiencing that.
I get that.
You know what I'm saying? So most men are not acting in this guerrilla nature. So you do have some. So I'm saying, but in the conversation, will bring their lustful nature up synonymous with being dangerous. So that's why I was just talking about that. But I'm talking about, I brought up what we wear again, because if I agree that there should be sexual discipline on both ends, sexual discipline is not just the act of sex. It's also how you perceive to be sexual.
I agree. And if a man...
No, she don't.
We have lack of sexual discipline as well, even if it is how we dress. Because that's also a discipline to also want to present yourself as a respectful person and not get so relaxed and even our attire is my point.
I get that. And my thing is, a part of that discipline with men, if you are so anti-sexual liberated women, if you are so anti-holiness, if you, or whatever you perceive to be as promiscuous, then get out of those environments. Unsubscribe from that account.
Okay.
Okay.
So what you did was the thing you just accused her of doing. You just said these women doing these things. Yeah. Now you men, yeah, go away. Let them keep doing what they're doing. But guess what? Guess what, Jazz? You're not gonna tell a guy who is a rapist. Maybe you should unsubscribe from these things. Maybe you shouldn't do these things. You see how the conversation changed? Now you about to try to talk to normal guys who are not these things. Like, they don't do it. All they do is they're sad and depressed or whatever. Now you about to talk to them instead of addressing the one who, he don't care what you say. He was gonna do it anyways. Remember your logic? He was gonna do it anyways. So what are you talking about? She can't stay on a conversation. It's impossible. It makes her head hurt.
How about stop lusting after all of these women and DMing them on Instagram? Okay. How about flood your timeline, recreate your algorithm where all you're seeing are holier than thou women speaking about God and holiness and chastity.
What are
But
we
you're
even
not
talking
doing
about?
that. Y'all are not doing that. You're going up to the.
Even the women with the chastity,
No, I don't want to hear that, Lucky. No, I don't want to hear that.
We gotta read the super chats. They backing up.
Okay.
Hold on.
Big screen. I don't even know what she was talking about. Is it really that hard for people to stay in a straight line in the conversation? Tried so hard to keep it on the lust. Jazz tried to talk about everything but it. She even tried to talk about her stiff wig. Tried to talk about that once or twice. My bad, Jazz. I didn't mean to take a shot at your hair. I don't like it. You should bring back the natural. Take that off. Anywho, this conversation, yo, that was so triggering. She just painted men. She took her assault rifle and what's that nigga name? Panda. Her logic is so flawed and disturbing. Add that word to it, and disturbing, that I don't know how you can, I don't know how you do it. Maybe, hopefully Jazz, hopefully she don't, and hopefully she will not make a little her. Quite disturbing when I think about it. For you to have these ideas and these thoughts and to talk to somebody who's a sponge scares me. Scares the shit out of me. She just tried to tell you that, hey yo, maybe you should not dress a certain type of way and then complain about guys treating you a certain type of way. Here's how you dress. And somehow this conversation went all the way to SA. How sway? But y'all see it. This is what you get. This is what you get when you try to make sense of Jazz logic. Is that fair to say? Jazz logic?
Oh, that doo-doo, man.